Hey, girlfriends, welcome to Girlfriend's Guide to Homeschooling with Angela Jordan Perry. Today, I'm joined with Annie Bell. We just had a very, very informative interview. Everyone say hi to everyone, Annie Bell.
Hi.
So Annie is my dear friend, over 20 years. We have to at least, I think, come up and consider what the number of years is. I want to say at least 24, 23 years.
I know.
That she and I have known each other back in Virginia in the days before we were married and had children. We were in church together. I don't think I was married. Maybe I met you when I had just got married. So
Yeah, you had gotten married and had, I think, 2 babies.
oh, I had 2 babies then? Okay. So that might have been around 20 years then, because Jordan is 22 this year. So 20 to 22 years I've known Annie. We lost contact, unbelievable. And then I had a dream about her and about sex trafficking and all this kind of stuff. And then come to find, I think that was a dream. But anyway, I had to track her down and found her on Facebook. And I was like, yes. So we totally lost contact. And then that was what she was very much into and ministry in, being an advocate for sex trafficking. She became an advocate and a voice for those without a voice who found themselves involved in that and somehow. And then I was also just delving into that. And so we just crossed paths after so many years of being unconnected. It's just amazing how that has happened. But our interview we just had, Annie Bell is a homeschooling mom of 2 children now for just 2 years. And I told her, I can't believe it's just been 2 years, just based off of our conversation. And I told her in the middle of our interview, I just stopped and read the paper like, what? Oh, she's been at homeschool in 2 years. That was all. And but one of the things from the interview, which is, as you know, on Girlfriend's Guide to Homeschooling, I always pull a specific, powerful, poignant thing that just stays in your memory from the interview that I want to dive in deeper and have a conversation around. And one of the things that you mentioned, Annie, was this amazing work that your son did, and out of his compassion and his heart, that I remember you showing and posting a lot on Facebook about. So though Annie is in Georgia and now I'm in South Carolina, we both came from Virginia. And when we reconnected, now we've been connected pretty good, if you want to say closely, on social media, Facebook, as much as we can, though we haven't seen each other still. We've just been connected through Facebook, right?
Right.
Which is amazing. And so, but I've seen her life and her journey on Facebook, and likewise for me, but her son, she has 2 children. Her oldest is her daughter, and then her son is Uriah. But he began to have such a burden for the homeless and those without, and he has done a lot of amazing things. One of the things he did is write a book. And so what I would like Annie to just touch on really quick in this time together is how focusing on his bend and what his passion is caused him to then become an author and a voice and hands, and just so overwhelmingly caring and loving these people that he has done what he has done and doing. So share a little bit about, what is Uriah's Bag of Hope? How did that come about? And as a result of that, what has blossomed as this homeschooler has, has just taken off of being free to go with his bend of who he is.
Yes. I always thought it was very important that we, as parents and teachers too, in the lives of our students, that we look to see what is their natural bend, what do they bend towards, what is, so that you can see how did God create him, and what are they supposed to succeed for God. Yeah. And so instead of us putting into them what we want, it's us learning what they want and how they were built, how they were created. And so when I speak of natural bend, that is what I'm talking about. So at age 4, my son had this natural, he has natural bend for, gaming and stuff like that, but he also had such a compassion, a bend towards the homeless and those who may be hungry. So one day we were coming out of the zoo and there was a homeless person playing a guitar, and we gave some money into his can. And my son asked, what was that? Why is he out there, collecting money? So we told him that we believe he probably is homeless, and that's how he gets some money to eat and stuff like that.
Right.
That touched his soul. So ever since then, he would, like, throughout the day, he would just drop down on his knees and pray to God. God, help the homeless. Give them food. And he would pray the things that come to find out, the things that he considers so important. So he would say, Lord, give them food, give them water and clothes, and give them a PS4 and a lot of games, and because to him that was love,
Yeah.
And then, well, one year we were coming out of the his swim, both their swim classes, and there was this man that we would see every day, and it was heat of summer, but he was wearing black hooded sweatshirt, and Uriah was, I think he's homeless, let's give him something. So we grabbed a bag out of I think it was Dollar General, and then we put t-shirt, socks, the Bible, some canned foods, the ones that you can open, without the can opener, and just kind of packed it in. And it was real quick, so we grabbed whatever we could, and we gave it to the homeless person.
Okay.
Now, Uriah, normally we can't pass a homeless person without giving something, whether it's giving them money, or if we have food, give them some food or whatever. And so we gave it to him. The next day, the same person who is normally out there in this hooded and just kind of just bent over and, looking kind of scary, honestly, he was sitting out on the park bench like this with his t-shirt on.
Oh.
And Uriah was like, Mommy, he's wearing the t-shirt that we got him. And I think what that did was galvanize that when we see a problem, we can be a part of the solution, and that it's okay to be charitable and to have that heart of giving. Anyway, so I posted that on Facebook. Somebody caught wind of it and told me about a grant. And so for kids, so it's a YSA. And Youth Serving America. And so he actually won the grant to feed hungry children in our county. And so we went and bought whole fresh chicken, bought fresh vegetables, and not the canned stuff and all that. Not to say that that's, we're not looking down on any charitable organizations that do that, but we wanted to really make sure that they get healthy food. Uriah wanted to make sure that there was a brownie mix in there, because you got to have dessert. And not only that, we actually was able to teach financial literacy to the people who were receiving it. And also my husband taught how to garden without a yard, hydroponically. And so it was a huge event, and it was 110 children that Uriah was able to help feed. And they left with soil, seeds, and a pot, so they could actually start growing their own food. And so with that, because my husband and I are both authors, and we own a self-publishing company, Uriah said, I should write a book about what I just did. And so we're like, hey, we can do that, because it's just basically you telling your story.
Yeah.
And so that's what he did. Of course, Mom and Dad had to edit. Dad is also a graphic designer, so he designed the whole book cover, and that's also amazing. The inside.
Oh, that's amazing.
And it talks about his journey. And this is me typing out the grant.
Okay, beautiful.
And it also talks about the guy that we saw at the park and stuff like that. But more beautifully, I think it begins to tell kids, hey, what are some of the problems you see and in your community, and how can you, and connect into that critical thinking piece as well, how can you be a solution to whatever problems you might see in your community, things that you might want to change. And
Yes.
so that's how his book came about. He's been a published author at the age of 7.
That is amazing. That is beautiful and very inspiring. And I hope that any of you who are hearing, hearing this or are listening to this, because it's here on YouTube, that this will spark up some ideas for us. One of the things I just mentioned to Annie, and hopefully we will be able to collaborate and make this happen, is that Uriah needs to get out now and be a voice, share his journey, his story. If nothing else, read his book, do some read alouds, and then challenge other kids. Now, what are you going to do, and what have you been doing, so that they too can rise up? Because we know, Annie, is not about age. You don't have to be a certain age to make things happen. Clearly,
That's right.
Uriah showed us that it doesn't matter. So thank you for sharing that. And for you all who are on the homeschool journey, what did Annie say? Get that creativity going, but let's look at their bend, their natural bend.
Mhm.
Maybe it won't look like Uriah's. It may be totally something different. But nevertheless, let's pay attention
Yes, right.
and help them to foster whatever that may be,
Yeah.
that will bring about change for a better, Lord knows, being a better world, right? Better community.
Yes. Yes.
So thank you very much, Annie. Thank you, girlfriends, for joining in. Be sure to go over and listen to Annie's full interview on Girlfriends Chat podcast. Check out all of her notes, all of her information that she's involved in, and learn a lot more about Annie, who's into financial literacy and the world traveling, school. What is it? World school traveling,
Homeschooling. Hmm.
schooling, and just get to know Annie. You will be encouraged and blessed, I can assure you, most definitely. Okay, thanks, Annie.
Thank you. I had so much fun. Thank you.
Thank you for taking all the time and sharing, and now you can go rest, because I know we done talked for a long time. So all right, we're girlfriends, take care. This is Angela Jordan Perry with Girlfriends Guide to Homeschooling and Girlfriends Chat. Peace and blessings to you all.
Bye bye.